being really authentic in your songwriting, um, because only you have your voice and only you have your experience to share.
Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling's focus. Focus on love. Love what's in focus. Aim for above because the ceiling is bogus. Focus on love.
The last time we talked, we were both on that live stream.
Yeah, that was fun. Not much. Well, okay, kind of a little bit of change. Like I moved, so I've been a little bit busy, and I've also been busy with like some upcoming releases. So I have something coming out on this upcoming Saturday. So what day is it today? Sunday. So like 6 days from now. Um, so just working with that. Um, yeah, it's starting to get bad again in Louisiana. So, or COVID-19, So that is a little frustrating, but what can you
Did
do?
stuff open up and then close again?
Yeah, they just closed down all the bars again. I don't know if they're gonna close anything else, but it's not looking good.
Dang. Yeah. I talked this morning with like a mentor. Well, I mean, I met him for the first time. And he said that he had COVID-19 like a couple weeks ago. And then also one of the other people that were supposed to join us today said that he has COVID-19. So it's definitely a real thing.
Yeah, my mentor also got COVID.
Dang.
Like a thing.
Yeah. Wow.
Is it okay? You're in California, am I?
Yeah, I live in Oakland. Right now I'm in Sacramento, which is like 1 or 2 hours away from Oakland.
Cool.
And I've just been like going back and forth between those two things because this is where my girlfriend's parents live. So we've been spending time here with her sister is also here and her niece and nephew. So I've been playing with them a lot, which is fun.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So let's get this started.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how this works. I don't know if you've seen my YouTube channel, but I asked like the same question, and it's like in 3 minutes, if you were to go back to your first introduction into music, and like what is your full artist story of how you got to where you are today?
Sure. Music has always kind of been like a really big part of my life since I was a little kid. I remember what really got me intrigued by music was the musical Annie. There was like, I was obsessed with this movie version of it, and I would watch it all the time and I would sing it all the time. And since then, I've just been really drawn to music. And I started with songwriting when I was 9, just like for fun, as like a little kind of game thing that I would do with my friend. And I never really like took it super seriously. It was just kind of something that I enjoyed doing and something that was almost cathartic and therapeutic for me. Especially as I grew older, I turned to songwriting to kind of express pent up emotions and stuff like that. So I let songwriting kind of take a backseat for a bit while I was in middle school and high school, but then I rediscovered it senior year of high school, and I started writing a lot more, and that kind of continued throughout my college career, and it actually kind of inspired me to like, or I guess like I went through something in my romantic life that inspired me to turn to songwriting and ultimately release my first EP. And then I spent a lot of time working on my full album that came out about a year and a half later. So that was like March of 2019. And that I think is really when I started to treat this as something professional and serious that I mean, I would love to do it. I've always loved to do it. And I would love to, continue doing it forever. And so that was really when I started gigging the most. I started writing a lot more, collabing a lot more. And since then, it's just gotten a lot more busy for me, I guess. And now I'm here about to release something that it's my first time producing with somebody else. I usually produce by myself. So it's my first time with a producer, and I'm really excited to share with everybody this final project because I'm really proud of it. I'm really excited for it.
Nice. Is it a single?
So this upcoming release is a single, but it's the first installment of a 4-track series. So it'll be a full EP at the end of it, but it's coming out in singles.
Nice. Cool. So you first got interested in music from the Annie musical. You watched the movie Annie, and that really first got you interested in music. And then you've been songwriting since then when you were 9, but you got more serious senior in high school, when you were senior in high school. And then you made music all through college, and you have self-produced most of your music, including a full album that you released last year, where you made all the music.
I did, yeah.
And you did the mixing and mastering and everything?
Yeah, I did. Everything out there on my Spotify and iTunes and everything is just me. Granted, I've taken a lot of classes and I've learned a lot more since those releases. So I still have a bit to learn about production. But, I poured my heart and soul into those projects, so I'm really proud of them.
Cool. What did you study in college?
I actually studied communications, but I minored in music and French. So I went to Tulane, and their music program is more classically focused, which is not really my thing. So I was able to get like the theory classes as well as some electronic production classes, but ultimately, being in New Orleans was kind of my like music business class.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you're in Louisiana still?
Yes, I'm still in New Orleans. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you were to think ahead like 12 months from now, like where do you hope to be with your music, and what do you plan on doing from now until then?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to continue releasing. I've been writing a bit more, so after this release cycle, I'm hoping, things with COVID will die down. So I can get back to the studio and work on some more production. But I'd also love to go on tour, but we'll see what what that might be like. In the meantime, though, I'm like working on forming a band. So like we've actually just like organized ourselves right when COVID hit, and we had to take a little bit of a backseat. But we just had a gig for the 4th of July, and that was really, really fun because it was like a boat venue. Like it was in somebody's backyard. Like someone set up a stage, and like it was on the corner of 2 canals, and everybody in the audience had to come like watch us in their boats. So that was really cool. So I would love to have more gigs like that. It was really, really fun, and just perform more in general too with my band. I'm really excited for what happens to that, or happens with that.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So in Louisiana, I mean in New Orleans, there's a lot of bands, right? And a
Yeah.
lot of music. I've never been there, but I heard that people play music a lot there.
Yeah, it is a very big music city.
What's the composition of your band?
So we're actually one of the only all-lady bands in New Orleans. So we kind of focus a little bit on R&B and pop, but we kind of dabble in all sorts of genres. But our name is Muses, and we're super excited to like get going. So we do some covers, and we also have plans to write together. We also do like some of my originals and some of my bassist originals. So yeah, we gotta do a little bit of everything.
Nice. So you're a singer, songwriter, and then you have a bassist and a drummer.
Yeah, and I play the keys and the guitar, but we also have a keyboardist coming back from home in August, and she's coming back to New Orleans to play with us. So yeah.
Cool. Nice. So the next question I have is, what is your experience with freestyle rapping or freestyle singing? Is it something that you use when writing music, or not at all?
Kinda, yeah. I think I've definitely tried improvisational songwriting before. It's so sometimes whenever I like start with the music, I just kind of like let the words come out and see what happens. Um, so, or sometimes I'll start with like a line in my head that I've had in my head for a while, and then just kind of like keep going and see what happens, you know? So I definitely think that songwriting for me is like different every single time that I do it, but it's definitely, I've definitely tried freestyling before, and sometimes, you know, I think it goes pretty well sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. What have you learned about songwriting recently?
Ooh, good question. I think the most valuable piece of advice that I've received recently is from one of my professors, Chris Finney, he's won a couple Grammys, and he's here in New Orleans, and he's a super prominent producer, and he's incredible. But he told me that like he gave me the advice to write a song a day, or like try to, just because, you know, songwriting is like a muscle that needs to be practiced and honed, and um, so the best way, or the only way you can get better at it, is to just do it all the time. So I try to do that now. And another piece of that is like being really authentic in your songwriting, um, because only you have your voice and only you have your experience to share. So it's um, important that you just stay true to yourself, because like oftentimes I know that I myself and some of my other songwriter friends try to emulate other artists in their songwriting, or in our songwriting, because, you know, like they obviously have success. So like, for example, I may want to write a song like Casey Musgraves, or like Muna, or somebody like that. But the thing is that they have their voice, so it's, they're gonna tell their story. I can't tell their story. I'm gonna tell my story, and just kind of like staying true to that authentic side of things, I think is the most rewarding thing, as well as, you know, practicing every day.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. So have you been doing that more? Practicing writing songs every single day, being more authentic in your songwriting, and like finding what you have to say as a, you know, a unique individual.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my intention, and it has been my intention since I've started songwriting, especially, you know, my college like era of songwriting. It's always been with the intention of empowering myself. So I often write when I feel like my voice hasn't been heard. Um, and then I also write with the intention of empowering others. So an example is I've been working on a project for like as a love letter kind of to Louisiana, because I don't super love how my state is represented in the media. So I kind of wanted to like give my experience of Louisiana to the world. So that's something I've been working on. But yeah, I think, you know, I try to sit with my piano at least every day and just see what comes out, you know?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, a little bit about me, if you don't know. I first got interested in creating music when I was like 14 in high school. And I went to my friend Faraz's house, and we made a song together. And I really like, I mean, I've been writing rap songs only, and I really want to learn how to sing. Do you have any advice for somebody that can't? Okay, so I went to a sing, what's it called? A teacher? Well, I don't know. Someone who teaches me how to sing, a vocal coach maybe. And she played notes on the piano, and then I couldn't sing those notes with my voice. And so she said that she cannot teach me because I can't do that. So what advice do you have for somebody like that?
Like you weren't able to like match the pitch.
Yeah.
I think that definitely comes with training. So for example, I definitely have worked on that in my college classes, in my music theory classes. It's really kind of just listening. I'm sure you listen to a lot of music, and I think it's really just recognition. So if you are actively listening to a song and you figure out maybe like what key it's in, or like what the note is, and you remember, okay, so when he sings this, this is like C or something like that, so you have like a reference point. and then trying to match that from there, it might be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about when you're singing notes? Like, do you like think of the letters, or is it more of just like a feeling thing, or a mixture of both?
For me, I think it definitely varies person to person, but for me, I would say that it's really more of a feeling. Do you mean like whenever I'm writing, especially, or just when
Hmm.
I'm whenever I'm writing, I just kind of like let it come out. Just it just comes out.
Okay,
You know,
cool,
but
nice.
I definitely think it's more of a feeling for sure. And sometimes, you know, I will like if I'm having trouble coming up with a melody, I will like think about what the chord I'm playing is and just like hear the specific um, like notes of that chord, and that can help me just also, you know, for key integrity and stuff like that. So it helps for inspiration and also accuracy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to become better at singing, uh, and I cannot do it. So, but I'll keep practicing.
Yeah, I feel like practice makes perfect, you know?
Yeah. Do you have a funny story that has happened to you recently that you would like to share?
Hmm. Um, I feel like most things that happen to me are pretty funny, so it's hard to choose just one. I guess like a little like this one isn't super music related, but it's like a New Orleans story. So one characteristic of New Orleans is that like the potholes in the city are just insane. Like they're all every street has a pothole on it, or at least one. It's ridiculous. So I was driving like a week ago. I was driving down the street and it was like kind of a small construction zone and there was like potholes everywhere. So I was trying to avoid the potholes and I ended up hitting a utility pole instead. So
Oh.
yeah, I know. So
Did did
not
it
a lot.
fall?
What?
Did it fall down?
It did not, but my car is in the shop.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah,
Wow.
it was kind of funny because I was like trying to avoid the potholes and I ended up hitting a pole. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. I mean, at least it rhymes though. Maybe a
yeah,
pothole and hit a pole.
right. I know it's like a nice metaphor, like or something. I don't know what the metaphor is, but it could be a good metaphor.
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah, the metaphor. Yeah, you're like swerving, you're trying to avoid the potholes and crash.
Yeah, I hit a pole.
Yeah. Wow.
So
W- were you listening to music when that happened?
no, I was actually talking to my friend. I was ranting a little bit about the potholes, and I hit the pole.
Wow. You were ranting about the potholes. Did you rant about how there's utility poles all over after
Well,
you hit it?
after there was like a local like a resident from that street was outside on her porch and saw the whole thing happen, and she was like, "Yeah, people hit that pole all the time," and I'm like, "What? Why are you still here?"
Wow. Dang.
Yeah. So silly New Orleans things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so a question I have is, how do you think about, so this kind of ties back to, the insight that you got from that famous person who I didn't know, and so I don't remember his name. It was
Yeah. Chris Finney.
Chris Finney. So like, what are some aspects of like, do you incorporate like social commentary or like what are some like messages that you plan to put into your music going forward, or maybe that has been part of some of your unreleased music?
Totally. So I kind of, like I said, my intention is always about self-empowerment or empowering others. So my songs have definitely been influenced by social commentary. So for example, I just released, or back in October, I think, I released a single about the male gaze, and it's called Gaze. And it was like a project that I had to do for my feminism class, but I wanted to release it publicly just as like um, social commentary. And I I definitely think that my music is influenced by my social and political views. But not only that, I also try to, like I said, I built a team, or I built a band of all women, all female identifying people, and as well as non-binary people. And I'm trying to do the same for my behind the scenes team as well. Just I do feel often like the industry can be a little bit dominated by the same voice. And so as someone who may have a privilege in the industry, I would love to give like give the mic to somebody's voice who may not be as heard. And so whether that be through my music or with who I surround myself professionally, I actively try to like, you know, make a statement and also just kind of help if I can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. What was the actual process like of forming a band?
It's been really kind of hard, actually. There's a lot of like, you know, male instrumentalists, and I haven't really. It's been really hard to just find a group of ladies to do it, and I ended up. So I started a band just like as an accompaniment back in March for, you know, live performances, and they're all very talented people. But it's really important to me to have this all-lady band, and so I met my drummer back in October. So we've been playing for a while, and we met through mutual friends, and then I met my keyboardist has been playing off and on for me since March, actually, of last year, March 2019. And so once she gets back, I think we'll be playing a lot more together as well. And then she actually met the bass player and introduced us back in like February when this all started. So we're still kind of looking for a guitar player. I can hold us down, but I'd also love a lead guitar player because I play rhythm guitar. But you know, we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like it's been mostly through mutual connections, like cool.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So do you have any questions for me?
I guess like what made you want to like start this interview kind of series, and like what got you interested in it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually got interested in it just because I went to one. So I've been doing improv for a while, and one of my improv friends hosts these sessions, and they're like improv for connection or something. And I went to one of those, and then I had like 6 people there, and then I got to meet everybody, and then that felt really great. And so I wanted to do like basically the same thing, but for music artists specifically. But so far I found it to be very challenging to actually get multiple people to show up at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm just going to like lean into like what has been happening, which is more of just like the one-on-one interviews. And yeah, and it's like, why am I doing it? Like, I think it's important for music artists to know each other. I mean, like you mentioned, like in forming the band, it's been through like mutual connections. So the more like connections that there are, you know, the more that can happen.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
Yeah.
And,
have you?
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Have you done like video calls or like how have you been connecting with other people in the last few months?
I've definitely been trying to like reach out via Facebook and Instagram, and as well as Quadio, and meeting people that way. So I was lucky enough to be selected for the Quadio Summer Songwriting group. So I've met quite a few people through that, and that's been really fun. Just to, you know, meet a bunch of different songwriters that I might not have exposure to otherwise, and just like sharing my songs with them, hearing their songs. It's been really cool. So I've been doing that, and I've also been, you know, trying to connect through Modern Musician and stuff like that. So it's been really cool to like meet all of these people from all over the country that I wouldn't have had time to do to meet in the first place had COVID not happened. So that is definitely a silver lining. It's just, you know, making those virtual connections.
Nice. What is Quadio?
So Quadio is a college student streaming service. I think they are trying to like expand a little bit to like the general public, but right now it is meant for college students, especially for college artists. And since I just graduated, I can still like reap the benefits. It's a really cool way to like connect with the college music culture and connect with college musicians. And it's also like not just a streaming service but like a social media platform, so you like can have friends on it, followers, you can meet a bunch of people. If you needed like a service, you can reach out to people for that too, or people can reach out to you. It's a really cool like networking place.
How do you spell that?
So it's like quad, like like a quad.
Yeah.
Like IO.
IO. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but I just want to make sure. And is that just is that in Louisiana, or is that a America, United States thing?
Yeah, United States national. I don't know if they have international abilities, but I think for the most part it's just in the United States.
Oh, cool. I'm definitely gonna check that out. That seems awesome. I mean, I've seen like so many different apps that are doing like the same thing, but like the cool thing about it, in my opinion, is that like even though there's like lots of different people doing the same thing, like you could still get the benefits of it, and you could actually go and do multiple.
Yeah, exactly. And then you meet a whole different group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Cool. So it's been almost 30 minutes. Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet that you want to talk about?
I guess stream my new music.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. How can they find it?
It'll be on all streaming platforms. If you want to go ahead and follow me on Spotify, it can show up on your main page in that little spotlight section when you open your app. When it comes out.
They search Cassidy
Louis, yeah.
Cassidy Louis.
Yes.
Let me make sure that I have you. Louis.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've actually listened to your album. Should I listen to that? Is it called Banana Clips Volume 1? No. It's called Crown?
Yes.
Nice. It looks like, oh, that's not going to work.
Oh,
no. Wait, maybe it will if I hold it close enough.
Maybe.
Oh, you can see it.
That's it. That is it.
There it is. Crown.
Success.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
I will definitely stream that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'll be on the lookout for your new music. Where else can people find you?
I'm on pretty much anywhere you listen to music. So YouTube, Apple Music, TikTok. There's like a whole list of places on Discord.
Do you have like a like number one social media platform that you use?
Probably Instagram is my most like active one.
Okay, and then what's your username on there?
It's Cassidy LO Music.
Cassidy LO Music.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, it's really fun. Thanks for having me.
Cool. And and I'm going to invite you to a Facebook group called the Famous Rapper Network. I don't think I've invited you yet, even though we have met, but and in there you can post like a short bio about yourself and include links to your music and your social media, and then the people in there will see that and then follow you and stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love to join.
Awesome. All right, so thank you so much. Have a nice Sunday.
Yeah, you too. It was nice talking to you.
Focus on love, love what's in focus, aim for above because the ceiling's bogus. Focus on love, love what's in focus, aim for above cause the ceiling is bogus. Focus on love, love what's in focus, aim for above because the ceiling's bogus. Focus on love, love what's in focus, aim for above cause the ceiling is bogus. I wanna lay down a never-ending road, we never go to